right, San Jose, we are back. So we got a couple things to get into before we start the season. Now we've got all of our scouts sent out. I think we have all the lines set up. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what we're working with. So Cousins, Draisaitl, and Eklund on the first, Zetterlund, Middlestat, and LeBanc on the second, Zadina, Sharangovich, Perry on the third, Bystedt, Gregor, and Bordeleau on the fourth. Our defense looks like this. Korchinski has 2 X factors now, which is pretty nice, with Chikrin, Broberg with Ferraro, and our young guys both, I think, in the same draft, 4th round. Yeah, both in the 2024 draft. We have Martin Price and Matthew Virgilio. So that's how we're looking for our defense. And then our goalies are Capo Kakinen and Itu Makaniemi. So that is how we're going to run the squad for this year. If I feel a need to change anything, I will come back and let you guys know. The only weakness I really see that we have is our goaltending. So we might have to figure something out there. But we do have some of those guys down in the AHL, like Pritchett with elite medium. He's going to be our goalie of the future, but it's going to take a while for him to get up there. So we got to run with Kakinen and Makoniemi now. But we should be good to get into the season and get into simulation now. So we're going to do the same thing we have done before, and I'll check in with you guys at the 20 game mark. All right, you guys. So we are officially 20 games into the season, and the San Jose Sharks are 11-5-4. So we're actually playing pretty good. We have been on a little bit of a slow streak here, 4-4-2 in the last 10. As you guys can see, we were actually 7-1-2. So we had a great start. We slowed down a little bit. I think it's because of the goaltending. We're going to go ahead and take a look here, though, because we're going to look at the points a quarter way through the season. Eklund is actually leading the team with 22 points in 20 games, so that's massive for our young guy. Leon Draisaitl with 13 goals already. That's huge. And Dylan Cousins is also point per game. Casey Middlestat, LeBanc, and Zetterlund are all playing pretty decent on that second line as well. Chikrin's got some good points back there on the D side, as well as Korchinski being a +12, so that's really nice to see. As far as goalies go, I mean, they're actually both playing pretty good. The only reason I say that I think it's goalies, that I think they were playing phenomenal beforehand. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the schedule, but I think through the last 10, they actually have dropped off. I think they were playing unreal through the first 10. So as you guys can see, I mean, a 4-0 win, so a shutout there, but 3 goals against, 4 goals, 5, 4, so 4 in the shootout loss. But before that, I mean, you can see 2 goals against, 1, 2, 2, and then back to October, I mean, 5, but then 3, 2, 6, 1, and 3. So, I mean, the goalies are playing pretty decent. As far as this goes, though, I mean, we are sitting in 3rd place. We are sitting in a playoff spot, only 2 ahead of a wild card spot. But to fall out of a wild card spot, I mean, both of them would have to pass us. So we're sitting in an okay spot. We're going to go ahead and get through the next 20. We're going to get to the halfway point in the season, and I will come back when we are there. All right, so we are up here at the halfway point of the season. 40 games played here. I'll do true halfway and go 41. You guys can see we do actually take a 2-0 loss to Winnipeg, but we are sitting 4 points above the Oilers now. We're sitting at 20-13-8, so not an awful record. We did have a 4-game win streak right there as well, with a bunch of losses in a row. But so I mean, the team doesn't have a perfect standing. I mean, we don't have one of those 90-plus defensemen, and we also don't have that elite goalie like championship teams do. But I definitely do think we are a contending team. Now, I'll go ahead and give you guys the stats halfway through. Our point leader is back to Leon Draisaitl. He is sitting at 44 points in 41 games. Eklund at 38 and Cousins at 38 as well, so not too bad. Middlestat, Zetterlund, and LeBanc as our second line. Actually doing pretty decent. I don't mind those numbers at all. It looks like the third line is our minus line. So if we could somehow fix that, that would be ideal. But you know, our bottom 6, I'm expecting to be slight minus players. So the fact that we only have 5 minus players isn't that bad. As far as goalies go, they are both still playing unreal. So not actually too upset about that. Can't be at all. Kakinen playing great, 922 save percentage with a 2.5 goals against average, and Makoniemi with 929, 2.54. So They're playing great. Honestly, it just looks like we're losing by a little, but winning by a lot. That's what it seems like it is. We're losing those 2-0 games, but we're winning 6-2 or 5-2, something like that. So that's what I feel like we are doing this season. We'll go ahead and take a look halfway through the season. We can take a look at where we're sitting at for like goals against per game to compared to goals for. So as far as goals for, we're sitting at 4th in the division. So could be better, could be worse. Goals against, though, we are 2nd best, only behind the Canucks. And I mean, 2.63 is unreal. I mean, we're probably sitting towards the top of the entire league with 2.63. So that's what, yeah, I mean, oh, that's goals for. Goals against, there you go. I mean, yeah, we're sitting tied with the Devils for 3rd best. As far as our goals for, it definitely could be better. As you can see, we would have to scroll down to find our San Jose Sharks here. We're sitting middle of the pack in goals for per game. So if we can start getting our goals up, we're definitely going to be a dominant team. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and catch you guys back when we are about 61 games through the season, and then we're going to do the last 21 in the last section. But I'm going to go ahead and get us up there, and we will see where we're sitting. So I'll be back in a second. All right, so we are 61 games through the season. We are at the 3-quarter mark. Leon Draisaitl still leading the team with 63 points. Makes sense that he's going to be our top guy at that 96 overall. He's got 32 goals, which he's on pace for a pretty good season, 40 plus for sure. Eklund sitting up here at 54 and Cousins at 51. I wish they were a little bit higher, but I'm not too upset about it. Our second line still playing good. Middlestat, Zetterlund, and LeBanc, all plus players. It's really that third line, man. That third line is definitely where we're hurting. They're the only minuses on the team: Sharon Govich, Zadina, and Perry. So, I mean, if that's the only line on the team that's really hurting us, we might be able to make some shakeups, but realistically, I don't think there's much we could do to try. I don't want to, like, if it's those 3 guys and they're the reason, I don't want to split them up and then have 2 minus lines. I don't know if that would really make any sense. But there you go. Chikrin is 26 points, Korchinski 21. Price is a plus player, which is really nice to see. So hopefully he can get a bump up. And then our goalie's Kakinen, I mean, still playing fantastic. Same with Makiniemi. So I cannot complain about the goaltending at all this season. They're definitely holding us in there, and they're playing great. So the worry about not having that star goalie at the beginning of the year, definitely not a concern for us. I will go ahead and show you guys the draft class so far. We do have a decent amount of scouting done. We've got Magnus Sjöström right here. He's similar to Sean Couturier, NHL ready, medium elite. We do have this guy being scouted, Brady Doig. So looks like Orlando Romano is a gem. He's going to have for sure X factors, similar style as Bobby Hull. So definitely going to be a good player when he hits the league. And Jorgen Bengtsson, same thing. Another Sean Couturier. That's interesting. Medium elite there. See if there's any steals somewhere lower in the draft. So you got Sean Joseph, a medium elite down at 77. Got a bunch of elite lows here. This guy a gem, so we can probably snag him up. And then a bunch of these top 6s that we know are going to be there, as well as top 4. I mean, there's only one guaranteed top 4 medium defenseman, which is interesting. So not much defense in this draft, it looks like. But we're going to go ahead and, oh, yeah, the record, 31, 21, and 9. We're sitting in 3rd place. We are sitting 7 points ahead of the second wildcard spot. So we do still have to have a good end of the season. We are right up here at the trade deadline. I don't know if there's much we can do. I mean, I think the only thing we could really do is potentially move on from Zadina and try to get someone a little more defensive for that third line. But we'll have to take a look at what we can potentially do. And we'll see. I will come back if we are going to make any trades. So I did find a trade that I want to try. It's not exactly what I was expecting to try, but he is a third line scoring forward at 85 overall, Jason Zucker. He does have those great defensive stats that I was looking for compared to Zadina. So hopefully he could contribute to that line, keeping the puck out of the net. Now Zucker's trade value was obviously a little bit higher than Zadina's, so I added in Robbins here. They want both of them, so I'm going to see if this will go through. If not, I'm going to try to revise it and come back with one that will. And right there, it does get accepted. So there we go. We definitely did upgrade the third line. And don't worry, guys, Zucker did have 1 year left. So it's not like we locked ourselves into a long contract with an older player. That's definitely someone we don't have to re-sign, or could potentially if we wanted to. And it won't really hurt us or hinder us throughout the rest of our GM mode. Now, I mean, looking at other stuff, I mean, someone like Carlson, right? I mean, we could grab him up. I mean, our first round pick isn't going to be that great. He's only 1 year left at 9.85 or yeah, 9.855. So I mean, he would definitely help our second line, but I don't know if there's anyone I would want to boot off of our defensive core. I mean, I definitely don't want to stop playing Virgilio. I don't want to stop playing Price. Broberg, I still want playing. So, I mean, the only one would be Broberg's partner. I can't even really remember. Ferraro. It would be Ferraro if we were to kick him off. And I mean, he has the X factors, right? So let me just see. If we were to get him from them, they would want Zetterlund, LeBanc, Pritchett, or Osgood. I mean, I could theoretically part ways with one of the goalies, and Pritchett is closer to being ready. So I could theoretically part ways with Osgood. They're an Eastern Conference team, so we don't have to worry about that coming back to bite us unless it's in the Cup Finals. Carlson is a rental, though, whereas Osgood would be a long-term. I mean, we already do have Pritchett, who is closer to being ready. I don't know. I think I want to try this. Carlson, I mean, he has top 6. He could drop off to like 82 by the end of the year. No, I actually don't really like that. With him being at top 6, I don't really like it. What about Sean Dursey, though? He's only 28 with 1 year left. Oh, so Ovechkin actually moved. Interesting. I wonder where he went. So I'm actually gonna look at Sean Dursey, because potentially he might not even want a $6 million contract after that. Now I'm pretty sure they're in the same division. If not, we're gonna face them in the playoffs, but it won't be for a while, and we're looking to win now, right? Jokela, no. Chatfield in a 4th. 3rd, Chatfield in 4th. I wouldn't be against that. I don't want to give up Broberg or Price or Ferraro, but a 3rd and a 4th and Chatfield for Dursey? I wouldn't be against that. That's not awful. And that's a couple years down the road for 2028 picks. That's 2 years from now, not 1 year. So we could actually restock those picks. With Chatfield, do we have a defenseman? I didn't decline those, so let me just look. Do we have a defenseman that could potentially step up as depth for Chatfield? Because if we move him, we need someone else to step up as depth. We could. I don't want to go Jokela. I still want him playing AHL because he's playing pretty good down there. I'm hoping Virgilio and Price get a bit of a bump so that we can move them up a line, like not sign Ferraro, potentially Broberg, depending on if he gets a jump. I don't know if he will. We do have the problem of too many defensemen right now, but they're too young and they're all sitting around like 82 or 80. I want Jokela. He's definitely playing NHL time next year. But we could probably move Thrun up just as that depth defenseman. Yeah, I mean, Roll is depth defenseman. So yeah, actually, I want to look at that. I think that 3rd and 4th in Chatfield is actually a pretty good deal for Dursey. Considering we could re-sign him, he's only 28. Oh, they changed their offers. Wait, a 3rd and a 4th in Chatfield for Dursey right here. It was just on 2 instead of 4. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to go with that. Sean Dursey's definitely going to help the team here. Now, I mean, I'll just look now because it's later on. They might accept something different. I mean, Osgood for Carlson. I mean, even if he drops, he might still have his X factors. That might still help. No. It's too risky. I don't like it. I'm going to go available here and keep scrolling. See if there's any other defensemen. 84, he has top 6. No. I'm looking for a guy who potentially, like, let's see. So, like, Dante Fabro. I mean, 2 years, and that's not really an upgrade. No, there's not really anything left. So I'm going to hop out of the trade deadline here. And I'm going to go ahead and get us up to the end of the season. So I will be back when we know where our placement is in the divisions. So give me 1 second. We'll be right back. So hopping back in here, as you can see, we're looking at the lines. We do have Zucker. What I realized is I didn't actually go through with the trade of getting of getting the defenseman. So we're just going to have to run it like this for the rest of the year. Just a bit of an update. I realized I didn't actually hit the proposed trade, which is unfortunate, but we're going to have to run with it. So I was just letting you guys know that. I did realize that that happened, but Zucker is actually going to be playing second line time, and LeBlanc is going to be playing third line time with Noah Gregor and Sharon Govich. So hopefully these lines work. Corey Perry dropped down to that fourth line. Hopefully these work, and we'll be back at the end of the season. All right, so we are here at the end of the season. The San Jose Sharks finished 41, 29, and 12 with 94 points, good for third in this division. So can't complain too much. 94 points would have been a playoff spot in any division. So we're definitely a playoff team. We did have some injuries hit us. The one that I will just show you guys the injury report. I think we only have one. As you can see, Draisaitl still led the team, but we do have one big injury, and it is William Eklund. He is out until May 1st, so he's going to miss the whole first round, probably part of the second round. It's unfortunate, but we got to roll with the punches. So I'll show you guys the lines we are working with now that Eklund is out. We moved Zetterlund up to the top with Draisaitl and Cousins. We have LeBanc, Middlestat, Zucker, who dropped to an 84, unfortunately. Gregor, Sharon Govich, and Perry with Smith, Bordelot, and Bystedt. Our defense is still the same. But let's go ahead and do a season wrap-up here. We're going to go ahead and look at the points. As you can see, Draisaitl was almost a 50-goal scorer. He had 89 points. Eklund here played 80 games, 71 points. So he missed the last 2 games of the season. And then Cousins finished with 67 points. Not really as much of a point producer, but still a plus 24. Did great on that first line, 25 goals. Can't really complain. The second line of Middlestat, Middlestat, Zetterlund, and LeBanc pretty much the whole year. Still did pretty good. They were plus players. Zucker, after coming to San Jose, put up 11 points in 20 games, was a -4, unfortunately, but I think he was an upgrade. Time will only tell. Chikrin finished with 32 points down there on defense. Korchinski finished with 23. We'll go ahead and see how the rookies did. Price was a plus 15. Pretty great. Philip Bystedt. He had 14 points, plus 6 in 74 games played. So not great, not awful. Could have been a lot better, though. Virgilio played all 82, plus 12 with 12 points. So can't really complain too much about that. And then our goalies there, yeah, I mean, the goalies were phenomenal. A 920 save percentage with a 2.7 goals against average. That might be the best goalie in the league. It would be close. Makiniemi, definitely the best backup in the league at 932 with a 2.3 goals against average. So can't really complain too much about that. And we are in the playoffs. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the playoffs in the next episode. What we are going to do is come up and see who we're facing. So let's just go ahead a couple days here. Oh, man. And we got the Colorado Avalanche again. So we faced them last year in our first playoff run. We've got them again in the second playoff run. This is going to be rough, but we do have some superstars. Hopefully, I mean, if it gets to game 7, Eklund will be back and our top line will be at full force. So we'll go ahead and get into the Colorado Avalanche series at the beginning of the next video, and I will catch you guys then. Peace.